I'm at South Ice Cave near LaPine, Oregon. I can tell you that because it's a tourist cave. You buy in a decent map and it'll show you where it is anyway. This is late April 2025. It opens for the summer on April 15th, so it's been open for a few days. Judging by the footprints, I'm like the first person here this year, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, it's a nice cave. I already went through to shoot my horizontal landscape video format, and there's definitely ice in here. In fact, I can't do the whole ice cave because part of it's blocked by ice. But the part I can get to is really awesome. So I'll just do what I can and be happy with that. Come back another day to do the whole cave. So the entrance here, the tube goes two ways, to the north and the south. The south is by far the easiest and the longest. And, well, they're both actually about the same, but it's a lot easier to go south. Excuse me. I just had a little snack, so now my mouth is being weird. Anyway. Alrighty then. As you can see, since the sun is to the south, we're in the northern hemisphere, there's a whole bunch of snow here at the entrance. A little bit fun, but doable. Notice, stay on the trail. You don't want to try to take that shortcut or something to get down here. Notice there's a cool ledge up there, but it doesn't go back very far. You see, the snow here is several feet deep. But luckily, if you stay to the left, it's not that bad. Definitely want traction shoes or something to grip in though. Darn it. See what sucks, there's both snow and ice. The snow isn't that bad, but the ice is really tricky. Alright, I'm going to try to stay to the left to go clockwise as seen from above. Notice there's ice all over the ground here. See how deep that snow is. And there's basically a cliff right there. So even if you come here in the summer, stay on the trail. You don't want to fall in there. Make your cave trip really short. Alright, I'm going to turn on the light now. Oh, what the heck. My flashlight sometimes glitches on me. It's hard to get on. Let me see if I can... Whoa, darn it. I just dropped the flashlight battery. Alright, hang on. Alright, let's see if it behaves now. Alright, there we go. Okay, there's 25%. Notice how green the ceiling is from just a little bit of natural light getting in. Ooh, Anyway, the ice is mostly farther ahead, so I'm going to go ahead and start working my way down to this rock pile. Notice this stuff here? It's like pieces of pine cone. The rats brought in here to make nests, or chipmunks, something like that. Some kind of rodents. It's life. These are just icicles, but still. There's a few icicles here. A few bigger icicles up there. And then there's a hole in the wall over here. Too small for people to really go back very far. If I remember right, yeah, you can crawl back maybe 20 feet, but maybe a belly crawl. I don't think it opens up big or anything. I think it gets a little bit wider so you could turn around. Maybe going feet head first and turn around, come back head first or whatever. But still. Alright, there's the entrance. Yep, that's what an entrance looks like. Now you know. Notice these logs that make a big X as seen from above, so that's a good marker. Recognize the cave from the entrance. See if I can get up here. I have to zigzag a bit because the floor is uneven. Even without the ice, it's a bit tricky. With the ice, it's even more fun. So, see a whole bunch of white ice there. At least it's easy to see. You shouldn't walk on the ice if possible, but at least the white ice, you have some traction. It's the clear ice that's really smooth. A mixture of formations. You have clear ice formations and white ice formations, all living in harmony. All right. Okay, I'm at a big room. Once I'm past the top here, I'll turn up the light a bit. I have it at 20% to save battery life. Okay, there's 20 or 50%. I'll go ahead and do 100% for now. Make sure you enjoy the view. So I'm shooting at f over 4.0, so I have a little bit of depth of focus. Notice along the wall here, decent ice. Wow. So down there on the floor, there's a nice ice floor. Look back there. Even in the summer, I think there's ice back there. And then here, there's clear ice all over the wall. Icicles hanging there. Wow. It's a 24 millimeter long lens, by the way. So when I panned it, you might have noticed a little bit of fisheye effect, but whatever. I think my next lens might even be wider. I'm used to a GoPro, so I really like the wide angle lens, even if other people don't. Technically, I'm shooting this video for me, not for you. You can watch, but I'm doing it my way. So there's a nice ice floor over there. And then lots of ice hanging from the ceiling. All right. Okay. So now, turn the brightness down to 50% for now. Getting closer to the end of the room. Because I don't want to save battery life. If I leave it 100% all the time, it can overheat and otherwise be glitchy. Wow, look at that flat rock. Look, it's about to fall down. Good thing it's too high for somebody to try to touch. Look how rough the ceiling is there next to it. Wow, neat. Again, it's too high for people to touch, so it's good. I don't know if you can tell, but the ceiling is at least 15 feet tall over here on the side. In the middle, it's probably more like 30 feet tall. There are good maps of this cave online, so if you don't know how tall it is, you can look it up yourself. I'd rather be surprised. What's really cool, a lot of that white stuff on the ceiling there, that's frost. Another little nook over there on the wall. All sorts of small ice formations here. Notice it's mostly frost on the ceiling, but there are a few small icicles. Turn around, look behind me. There's a nice floor down there. And notice it's a straight shot out to the entrance. So you'll see natural light. Just one breakdown pile between here and there. A little bit of work. For an experienced caver, it's not that hard. I wouldn't take a beginning caver here though. Not this time of year. Late fall when most of the ice is melted. This would be a good place to bring a beginner. Teach and watch where they're going. Yikes. My foot got caught up on a rock. It's possible this cave's a little bit dangerous. Okay. Nice collection of ice there. One little icicle up there, besides all the frost. Nice little stalagmite up there on the shelf. A lot of ice over there on the wall. Cool. There's a little nook. Notice it has a really rough ceiling. Look at this. Nice big formation here. Notice how it's wider at the top. Almost like a flat sheet. More little holes in the wall there. All sorts of ice here to the right. So I'm going to try to stay to the left. I'm going to take off my backpack. Ooh, I didn't even notice this before. Nice little collection of ice there. It's really cool. Look, this icicle is widest in the middle. Usually it's widest at the top. I'm not sure how that happened. And that one's really shaped weird. Fascinating. Alright, so I'm going to go through here. There is a hole to the left. I'm not going to climb down there. I think it's a dead end. I'm not going to bother to pretend to care. Yeah, see, there's a hole here on the left. You can definitely climb down there, look around, but all it is a gap between rocks, like a talus area. I don't think there's anything interesting down there. I'm not gonna bother. Of course, I could be wrong. That might be the best part. The map doesn't even mention it. Who are you gonna believe, me or some lying map? I got knee pads on because I'm doing hands and knees crawl like a baby right now. So yeah, let me get back over here. I'll show you something else. All the cool ice over there. This is the way I could have come through. I'm gonna go back out that way. Look at that. Small ice stalagmite right there. This is the way I just came through. Hardly any ice, so it's kind of easy, except that I had to crawl. Oh well. Darn it. I'm trying to go down here carefully. I know there's loose rocks here. I want to be careful not to bump a loose rock down, trigger an avalanche or something. More ice over here along the wall. Ooh, I just crawled past a little stalagmite, really small one. Okay, there's the way I came down. Now I'm at a nice big room. Notice there's a lot of ice on the floor here. So it's going to be easiest for me to just stay left. Less ice here. Good slope. Lots of reasonably sized rocks I can climb down. Okay, now the light's at 100% again. This is the biggest cave I'm going to do today. It's the only big cave I'm doing today, so might as well use up lots of light. At the highest setting, each light will last half an hour. And I have like 6 or more with me. Like 3 or 4 in my backpack and the rest in my car. This short cave, I decided to Just leave them in my car. Notice there's a nice floor down there. Lots of icicles hanging from the ceiling. Some of this white stuff is cave slime and some of it's ice. I could tell the difference. Basically the bluer stuff at the top there, that's the ice. And then the paler stuff on the left, that's the cave slime. Okay, now you're a cave expert. And then over there, the right side, there's all sorts of ice glaze on the floor. But I'm gonna stay left, keep going clockwise. If I can figure out how to get through here. There's a lot of ice over there on the right side. I'll check it out on the way out. But even so, look at the big icicles hanging from the ceiling. Notice they're along a crack because that's how the moisture gets in, then freezes. That's why there's ice in here. Water comes in as a liquid and then it freezes. Just like freezing rain. Slightly slower motion. Would be cool to have a time-lapse camera inside this cave. Have it take like one picture per minute all year round or something. But yeah. So look down below me. There's a huge ice stalagmite down there. All sorts of ice. And then up here on the ceiling, lots of big icicles. Cool. All right. Let's see if I can get through here. Whoops. See, I have traction devices on my feet, but not my hands. So can't really grab onto anything. Here's the way out. Ice. And then down there, ice floor. There's a few rocks sticking out. Fortunately, in the back of the cave here, there's a little bit of graffiti. See, there's some spray paint over there. Arg. Hopefully in the late summer sometime we can come out and clean it up. Oh well. Once it's been there 50 years, it's considered historical. You can't clean it up. So at least every 50 years you want to clean up the cave, or you missed your chance. Near Fort Rock, or at Fort Rock State Park, there's a cave called Cow Cave, or Fort Rock Cave. It's got historical petroglyphs, so they're considered like sacred to the Native Americans. Obviously, nobody's going to clean those off. A little bit of ice hanging underneath this here. Nice stalagmite right there on top of that. Notice how there's ice all over that. Very rugged. I don't know if there's a name for that, but it looks really cool. Hold on, I want to check on something. Notice that rock pile has ice. Okay, well, I'll worry about that on the way out. For now, I want to keep going to the left here, finish up the cave. In order to get through here, I do have to kind of crawl through the ice very carefully. So I'm going to stay low, so if I slip, at least don't slip very far. Okay, and there we are. Whoops. That rock was already loose. Alright. Okay, the cave is getting smaller. Let me lower it back down. Alright, there's 20%. even up here, where it's mostly rock, it's a little bit of ice. Caves end different ways. Some of them just get smaller and smaller and smaller. This one actually has a pretty abrupt ending, at least the south end where I am. It's weird. I don't know if you could tell the difference. So the floor here, the rock is white. That's just basically dirt. But the ceiling up there, that's white. That's frost. So it's weird how the ceiling gets frost, but the floor doesn't. They normally say heat rises, but my guess would be the moisture freezes before it has a chance to drip down and freeze. It's my first guess of why there's ice on the ceiling but not the floor. Wow, look over there. Quite a bit of ice along the wall there. As long as I'm here, I'll check it out so I don't forget on the way out. Notice there's a way down there, but I'm not going to bother to go down there today. Tomorrow I'm coming with somebody else. If he wants to be more ambitious, maybe I'll go with him. For now, I'm taking it easy since I'm by myself. Don't want to do anything stupid. Get myself stuck or worse, damage an icicle. Oh, here we go. Oh wow, look at this. There's ice hanging from the ceiling. So what happens is the ice froze, right? And then the rock thaws out. It can peel off in one big piece. I don't think I've ever seen it like that in one big piece. Not that big. That is really cool. What's weird, I just went through here. I don't remember seeing that. Of course, it's not my fault. I mean, there's no way I did it. But yeah, it's like peeling off. Okay, this is cool. I hope it's still here tomorrow when I come back. But yeah. Of course, a little kid would probably try to touch it. I'm gonna definitely resist the temptation. So hopefully it'll be here for tomorrow. Alrighty. It's funny, the other end of the cave, the north end of the cave is just as long, but it's much harder to get into. It's like blocked with ice right now. I wasn't able to get to the north end. Oh well. Oops. Almost knocked the rock loose. Definitely want to be careful. Don't want to trigger an avalanche. Notice we're going downhill. I think there's less moisture in here because we're just farther underground. But anyway, still a little bit of moisture and ice. Not a lot. Ceiling's uneven. Need to watch my head. Make sure I don't bump it. Notice the contrast of colors. That's not ice. That's just cave slime. I'm almost to the end of the cave. The good part's back behind me. I'll get to the end anyway. Just make sure I don't miss anything important. Huge breakdown rocks here. A little bit of work to get through here. Oops. I'm on bare rock, so the crampons actually make it more slippery for me. Okay. This is as far as I can go while standing up. I'm hunched over here. But as you can see, I'm at the end of the cave anyway, so whatever. There we are. This is how the cave ends. Floor is flat, ceiling comes down, and they meet. The end. Each cave's a little bit different, but this one is kind of cool because you don't have to think about it. You know you're at the end. Some caves, you get to a tight spot and you're like, wait a minute, is this the end or not? All right, I'm going to stop the video and start again because I'm almost to the halfway marker.